Are you ready to finish the blocks for our Enchanted Winter quilt? Hey everyone, Cristin Som here, and it is time to finish the blocks for our Enchanted Winter quilt. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. So our sponsor, Daylily Fabric Shop, still has product available. If you haven't jumped in yet and you're wanting to, make sure to order from them. I'll add a link here for the Daylily Fabric Shop, and don't forget to use our coupon code. All the details are underneath this video in the video notes. All right, are you ready for me to show you what we've done so far for the last time with all the separate pieces? All right, so here's section 1 and section 2. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. And then we have, that was section 1 and 2. And then we have the pine tree block and the floral heart block and the snowbird block with the ice skate block. And then the pine tree 3 block and the floral tundra rose, that's what it was. And that gorgeous house. Oh my gosh, I love the house. It's so beautiful, so fun. That's the winter home. And then last night we did that beautiful polar bear, polar friend. How cute is he? I love him. I love polar bears, love one. So there was on Facebook the other day, they had a mauling. Somebody like was taking pictures of a polar bear and he got mauled. Like, yeah, it's a wild animal, maybe not be in there. Oh, sad. It was just awful, but I did happen to hear about that. And then we have the last one was our corner piece block for section 3 that we did in section 1. So that's all the blocks that we have done so far. We have just done absolutely incredible. And now we're going to finish with the blocks. So we have 3 filler blocks to do today. I'm going to try to fit them all in one hooping. I haven't tried yet. So that's my plan. I'll take you over to the computer and show you how I'm going to do that. And like I said, I haven't started practicing it yet, but that's the plan. There's 3 of them. They're not too big, so it should be pretty doable. So let's go over what we need. If you made a packet for those section 3 fillers, it's time to grab that now. The section 3 fillers are on page 47. And I do have a little plan for my filler blocks. And for those that made a donation to the Cristin Creates tutorial, I'll show you what I'm going to send you. So I've been working on it for a few days, and I think it's pretty darn cute. I think it'll be fun, a little addition. And as always, the additions or personalizations, anything like that is completely optional, totally up to you. And for those that made a donation to the Cristin Creates tutorials, I have sent those out to you. So I'm going to add a link here. If you haven't made a donation yet and you want to, there's still a little bit of time. We have a little bit more still to do on this project. So right there, that one goes to PayPal. There's also a Venmo link in the video notes, whatever works for you. And I appreciate your support. Everybody's been really kind on this project. It's been a really fun one and a lot of work, but a really fun project with the wonderful people in this group. So let's go over what we need for today. So the filler blocks, we have 3 of them. Like I said, they are on page 45. I think I said page 47. Oh, it says, it does say 47. I wonder why, because they're on page 45. So the section 3 specifically is on page 47. That's why. All right, so the first one, this is going to be filler block number 7, all right, and it is this blue plaid fabric, all right, the blue plaid fabric. You want to back it with fusible stabilizer. It is our filler block, and as I mentioned in the prep video, there is an option to cut it the size that is going to be needed in the quilt, or you can cut it a 1/2 inch larger like I've recommended for years. It's in the book now, so I do recommend doing that, and then we'll cut it down when we're ready to piece it all together. But it helps so that in case you haven't stabilized it quite enough, maybe the stitching will pull in a little bit. I've always recommended cutting them at least a 1/2 inch bigger. All right, so on this number 7, block number 7, it is a 2x6 design, so that means 3x7 for your fabric, 3x7 for your fabric, and also for your batting. All right, 3x7 for both. And like I said, it's this blue plaid fabric backed with fusible stabilizer, all right, and 3x7 for your fabric and for your batting, okay? And we're gonna quilt this one. What are we gonna use? This is block 7. It's above our little winter home. And we're gonna use winter 7 in, let's see, 2x6. 2x6 quilting design in winter 7, all right? That's for block number 7. All right, and that's it for that one. I'll put that one aside. The next one is filler block number 8, and it is the blue tundra fabric, not tundra, what is it? Tufted, sorry about that. All right, and this one, make sure to back it with fusible stabilizer as always. So our quilting design is 2x4, so that means we want our fabric and our batting to be 3x5. All right, 3x5 for your fabric stabilized, and also for your batting, 3x5. This is for filler block number 8, and then we are going to quilt this one using geometric 13 in a 2x4 horizontal design. All right, geometric 13 is our quilting design for filler block number 8 in a 2x4 horizontal design. Okay, that's for this one. All right, and then our last one, and this is the one I'm going to add to because it's bigger. The fabric is a little bit busy, but I think it'll still be okay, hopefully. And you can add to any of these. I thought about maybe putting snowflakes on this tufted one. I thought that would be cute, but I haven't done that yet. I've shown you how to do that in the previous filler block tutorial, so you could certainly do that if you choose. But for this one, we're going to do quite a few things to it. I think it'll be fun. It's always fun to try different things. All right, so this is our last one. This is filler block 9, and we want a 4x6 design, so that means we want 5x7 for our fabric and our batting. All right, 5x7. Make sure to back this with fusible stabilizer. A little string on there. 5x7 for your fabric and also for your batting, 5x7. All right, this is for filler block number 9. And like I said, cut it at least a 1/2 inch larger. I highly recommend it, especially if you're going to add to it like I'm going to. All right, 5x7 for filler block number 9 and also for the batting. And then we are going to quilt this one with plant 15 in a 4x6 design. Plant 15, 4x6 design. That's for filler block number 9. All right, and that's it. That's the regular part. Now, if you decide to add on like I'm going to, and I will show you that when we get over to the computer, but I do want to recommend that if you're going to want an extra piece of fabric, all right, an applique piece of fabric. I'm going to use the tufted because I would recommend using one that has already been in your quilt so that it's not standing out too much and it just flows, right? It all works together. So that's what I'm doing. I'm using this tufted one, and you want a piece that is 4x4. I did back mine with fusible stabilizer. It is going to be an applique piece, so I like to stabilize those. So 4x4 for the extra piece, and you'll see why in just a bit. And then there's one more thing. So if you're like me, you've saved a lot of your extra glitter sheets. And if not, you can use white fabric, whatever works for you. Use a fabric any extra fabric that was in your pack will work great. I don't think we had white glitter. Oh, yes, we did for the little ice skating area. We did have this. So if you have extra, and if not, like I said, you can use fabric, but I recommend a 3x3 piece. I'm going to use the glitter vinyl, and you'll see why in a little bit, and totally optional. You can choose to do the same design, do something different, do nothing at all, just have it quilted, whatever works for you. You can use vinyl or you can use fabric, whatever works. So, but if you have an extra piece, I've got actually a whole bag of them. Whenever I cut my applique pieces, I always save all the little extras because you never know when you're going to need them, like today. So if you have some of your applique glitter, a 3x3 piece will work fine. I haven't cut mine to 3x3 yet. This was just an extra that was in my bag. So 3x3 for the whipped cream. I just told you part of it. Whoops. So much for the surprise. You don't want to tell me secrets. I'm so bad at keeping secrets. Oh my goodness, that's funny. All right, so that was filler block number 9, and I'm going to bring you over to the computer and show you what I have in mind. Hey everyone, I'm at my computer now and I'm going to show you what I have in mind for that special filler block number 9, and then I will also show you how to merge them together into one hooping. So the first thing is to check your hoop size. So if right down here in the bottom right hand corner, it'll tell you what hoop you're on. It says I'm on my 7x12. For now, I'm going to go smaller. I'm going to go up to this preferences folder and I'm going to click on 5x7. And I'm just going to focus on that one block for now, and then come up to this compass button and click H for hoop. All right, now what I want to do is I want to double click on this hoop down here. If you double click on it, it rotates it. So I want to work on a surface that is similar to the block to make it easy to visualize it. All right, so that's the first thing. Now I want to bring in the quilting design so that I know the parameters that I have to work with. So I'm going to open up a folder. Like I said before, you can navigate to it or you can just find it here. So I'm going to go to my Enchanted Winter quilt and to the quilting bundle, and we have plant 15 and embroidery files block by block. Pez is what I use, and we wanted a 4x6 design, 4x6 plant 15. There it is. So I'm just going to click on that and drag it over, and then I'm going to shrink this down, and then I'm going to click on the design. You have to make sure to click on the stitching, and then I'm going to rotate it. So I'm going to click on this rotate button, this right rotate. It can be right or left. You can see it's not directional. It doesn't matter. All right, so that's done, and that makes it so that I can see, because I know that I want to work within this first orange line here. This outer line is the placement and tack down of the main fabric, and this inner line is the placement and tack down of the batting, and that gives me the parameters that I want to be able to add something into this block, because I wouldn't want it to be in the seam allowance. All right, so I'm going to do that. So that part is done. That part's easy. Like I said, I'm just going to work on this one block for now, and then I will work on the 3 blocks. But for now, I'm just going to work on this one. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I want to go to Etsy, and up here in the search bar, type hot cocoa applique embroidery design, or hot cocoa embroidery design, or whatever you're thinking that would be fun. I thought hot cocoa would be really cute in this quilt, so I'm going to add to it. Like I said before, you can absolutely do something different or do nothing at all. Just quilt it and you're good to go. Whatever works for you. Now, when you click on hot cocoa applique embroidery design, you can see there's lots of things to choose from. A lot of them have like candy canes and things that are more Christmassy. And this is not a Christmas quilt. This is a winter quilt. So I'm thinking that after we take down Cup of Cheer and Jingle All the Way and we wish you a Merry Christmas, then we will put this quilt up. So this one is like January. Think of January quilt. So something wintry. And personally, I wanted an applique design. That's why I put in hot cocoa applique design, because the block is pretty busy for just an embroidery design. I think, the fabric itself is pretty busy. So I'm thinking an applique would stand out a little bit more. And again, personal preference. You can do whatever you want. So as you can see, there are some, like this is just all fill. This is embroidery fill only. This also is. There's several options. This is super cute and would go along nicely with our quilt. But again, it's all stitching. So I personally wanted an applique. You choose whatever works for you. This is cute too, and this also is all stitching. So I wanted one that is specifically applique. That's what I chose. So I ended up going with, there you can see there's several. Look at this with the little marshmallows and the little steam up on there, and this one too. So there's several that you can choose from, whatever you want. I ended up deciding on this one. So hot chocolate applique Christmas winter embroidery. This is by Embroidery Boutique 2. And somebody asked, how do you know if a design is going to be well digitized and so on and so forth from Etsy? And I've bought from Embroidery Boutique 2 before, so I know that theirs are good. They also have a website that you can purchase from. And I have several of their designs, so no problem. There are, I will tell you, I have bought stuff before that did not stitch well, that was not digitized well. And so you don't know, but the thing that helps is if you read the reviews, and you can see there's a 5-star review, 4.9, 3.9. So you can see the reviews on here. And I generally look at that when I'm purchasing from someone new. So just a little tip on that. All right, so like I said, I chose this one. So I went ahead and I purchased this and I downloaded it. And this is the one that I've chosen, but there are lots of them and they're actually pretty similar. I liked the whipped cream on this one. I thought it was cute and it matches my sweater. So whatever works for you, and it doesn't have to be hot cocoa. It can be something to do with Home Sweet Home, because it's right under our home block. Like whatever you think would be fun is what you want to do. All right, so I purchased that one. I will add a link in the video description of the one that I purchased so that you can find it easily. And then you just purchase it, download it, extract it, because when you have a design that has more than one thing in it, you need to extract it. I had someone ask me the other day why they couldn't extract the file that I sent them. If it's one file, it's not zipped. A zipped file is one that has multiple things in there. All right. So let's see. So I purchased that. So I need to find it now, actually. So I'm going to go, well, first I'm actually going to show you. Let's see. I'm going to show you some options. So actually I'll bring the cup in first. So I purchased it. So it went to my downloads. I've purchased a few things since then. So I've got a few things in here. So there it is. So actually, let me go back and show you. So here's the zipped file. See, you have to unzip it. It's absolutely important. And if you don't see your unzip option, it would be up here. Let's see. Well, this one's not. I'm clicked on one that's not zipped right there. So see, when you click on a zipped file, click on extract all, and it will extract it and make a new folder for you. All right, so I'm going to open this, and it came with a bunch of different formats. I deleted them. So then size wise, you want to look through and what you think is going to fit. So this it was a 4x6 design, so it has to be under 4 inches to be able to fit in here, unless you're going to slant it, which you absolutely could. So the 4x4, if I've got thumbnailer, Embellishment thumbnailer, so you can see it shows me a little picture. In fact, I can make that bigger. I can go to view, and then it shows me the picture. And if I had these with all the other different formats, it only shows the format that I need. So that's helpful to me. So when you hover over it, you just hold your mouse over it, it will tell you the size. So you can see that this one is 2.9 by 3.9. So that means the length is going to be 3.9, and that's actually the size that I need. When I go to this 5.7, it's 4.1, so a little bit too big for me. So I'm going to go with this 4x4 design. So I'm going to click this and just drag it over. It goes to the center. I'm going to close that down. All right, and it's still a little tight. I could shrink it just a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on this and I'm going to move it over here. I want to center it. And then I think I'm going to make it just a tiny bit smaller. And one thing that's nice is Embellishment Essentials will automatically adjust the stitch count when you resize things. It will make it more dense or less dense, whatever, to be able to work for your project. So you don't have to worry about like skipped stitches or anything. Embellishment Essentials will adjust that for you. All right, so there is my cup. So cute. And I've left open some space because I thought adding some words would be nice. So again, you want to keep within this the first orange line here. And if I click on it, you can see it better right there. All right, so you want to make sure that your design, anything that you add, fits within that. All right, that's 1, 2 that I clicked on. 1 and 1, 2 are the placement and tack down of the batting. All right, so I'm going to move this over a little bit more. All right, and I made it a tiny bit smaller, but just a tiny bit, and that's personal preference. All right, so cute, cute, cute. Now I want to add in wording, and I'm going to show you a lot of different options because I worked on this for a long time to see some options for you. So one thing that I want to recommend is I'm going to do, let me see here. How should I do this? Nope, excuse, my husband dropped something. All right, I'm going to click on this 1, 5. I'll do a file new page and I'll just save it. All right. I'm just gonna, let's see if I'm on this other one. I'm gonna click on this. I clicked down below and dragged up. I'm gonna say Control C, and I'm gonna say Control V on this new one. And I just want to show you, I'm just going to keep this here for now, so I have it for later. But what I wanted to show you is when you're choosing wording, I find it helpful if I click on the quilting part so it's out of my way. I'm going to click delete. All right, I just don't want that there. I want a blank slate so I can see what I'm typing. That's all. And then I can bring it back over easily. All right, so now we're ready. Now I'm going to show you, I did this more amount of time than you can possibly imagine. So I'm going to do it an easier way for you because I've got them already done. So I'm just going to show you, I went through a ton of different fonts to see the look that I liked and to give you options. And so I'm just going to show them to you rather than bring them over, make all the changes, which I did already do for you, but you can just see them so you can go, ooh, I want this one. So if you find one that you like, do like a screenshot or write a little note of the name. Don't send me a message and say, what was that one that you showed? Don't do it. Believe me, I get that. I get a lot of that. So don't do that. Watch the video, make a little note of the ones that you like or don't like, so that you can purchase the one that you like. And so I'm just going to show them all to you. So I'm going to go through here. I'll try and go a little slow so that you can see them all. So this first one is Sugar Cookie. So this font is called Sugar Cookie. It's from Stitchtopia, and it's a basic font. It's not a script font. It's a basic font. And I already sized everything. I already moved all the letters to how I wanted them, so that you could see options. All right. So like I said, this one is Sugar Cookie by Stitchtopia. Cute, right? All right. The next one, this one is Rainbow Kale. Rainbow Kale, sorry. I bought this one just recently, and it is a really cute font. In fact, I'll probably use it for, maybe for a label. It's a little wide, so I'm not sure, but I thought this is a really cute font. It's not quite the look that I was going for, but it's an option. So I'm just showing you different options, all right? So I thought this was really pretty. I decided I do want a script font. So then I started looking into all the script fonts. So this one is Rainbow Kale. This is from Stitchtopia. The next one I'm going to show you, this one is Mariah 2. And now you can see it's a script font. I've already adjusted all the letters and moved them in the way that I wanted them, and sized everything the way that I wanted them. So I've already done that just so that you can get a visual of the look that you want if you decide to do this. All right, so this one is Mariah 2 by Stitchtopia. Very pretty, very loopy. I think that's really cute. I like that. All right, that's Mariah 2. And the next one is Red Roses. All right, this one is Red Roses. I bought this one just recently. Someone in our group actually recommended it, and I was like, oh, that's really pretty. I need that. So this one and Pink Peonies was another one that was recommended in our group. So I bought both of those. I thought they were really pretty. So this one, Red Roses by Stitchtopia. I'm going to go back to Mariah 2 so you can see the difference. Mariah 2 is a little bit more loopy, and they're both very pretty designs. And the nice thing is that when you know the letters the words that you want to use, that's when you need to start looking at the different fonts, because you could have a font and go, this is a beautiful font. And then you type in your letters and you're like, oh, I don't like that. It doesn't look good. So make sure that you start with your wording and then go from there on changing. And I'm going to walk you through all of it step by step, but I wanted to at least start with showing you different options. All right. So like I said, this is Red Roses. And the next one is Sarah 2. That's really pretty too. And it's nice and thick. That's one thing to keep in mind is our fabric is pretty busy. So a thicker font would look nice. It would stand out a little bit more. You don't want it to get lost in that plaid fabric that we have. And you could choose to change your fabric if you choose, or choose to not do a design, whatever works for you. This one is Sarah 2 by Stitchtopia. All right. And on all of these, I used the 1-inch font. I get asked that a lot. Somebody asked today about a 1/4-inch design. Should we use a 1/4-inch design? A 1/4-inch design is way too tiny for something like this. even for labels. That's what they were asking about, is for labels. And really it's too small for labels too. You could use it for something like a little add-on, but for the most part, a 1/4 inch is going to be really tiny. All right, so this is a 1 inch size. This is Sarah 2 by Stitchtopia. And you can see it's a little thicker. I'm going to go back so you can see there's Mariah 2. And that is really pretty, not quite as thick. Very pretty. I love the loopies. And then Red Roses. That one is super pretty too. And then Sarah 2, a little bit thicker. All right. And then the next one is Winter Sky. I just bought this one recently. And so this is kind of closer to the look that I was wanting. I wanted something a little bit more wild than too basic of a script. I wanted something a little bit wild, and this is a little bit wild. This is a fun one. And the nice thing is the letters go together well on this one. This, like I said, it's Winter Sky by Stitchtopia. So this is a good font. This is definitely something to consider for depending on the look that you want. All right. So Winter Sky, that's a pretty one. Someone was asking me today also for a list of fonts that I like. And I have done that a few times in the group. I'm not going to keep doing it. So again, watch the video, make little notes of ones that you want to purchase. All right, this is Winter Sky, and you can see it's fun. I like this one. All right, the next one is Pink Peonies. Now that's like wild. That's super fun. I think that is a really pretty font. Now, one thing to keep in mind with this font is see the T and the H. Like it's a little, this wording is a little bit more wild than other wording that you might use because the T and the H don't go together well. So then you have to make it a little bit loopy. So that's something to keep in mind. And like it's great. I think it's a really fun look. In fact, if you go back to that Etsy, the ones on Etsy, some of them were pretty wild. Like this one, that's pretty wild. So I think that's pretty fun. Maybe a little happy medium in between the two. So depends on the look that you want. I think this is really pretty. Pink Peonies is a gorgeous font. The T and the H makes it hard. You definitely have to move them around a lot to be able to get that wording to work. And you could change the wording. It could be Hot Cocoa Season instead of Hot Cocoa Weather, whatever works for you. All right. So that's Pink Peonies. I'm going to real quick go through the scripty ones. There's Mariah 2, Red Roses, Sarah 2, Winter Sky, and Pink Peonies. And then we have a couple more. All right, so that's the one that we were on right now is Pink Peonies, and that's the one that the T and the H they need to be moved around a bit more. And then the next one, this one is Monte Carlo. This is really pretty. I've used Monte Carlo on a lot of things, and it's nice because it's a thick font. It's a loopy font. It's more wild than some of the ones that are really basic. The only thing, again, that T and the H. So you have to make them where they're kind of, unless you want them to overlap. I didn't want them to overlap, so then I made it a little bit more loopy, and I think that that's just a really fun look. So that's something to keep in mind. This is Monte Carlo by Stitchtopia. All right. And then the last one is, what is this one? Winter Snow. Winter Snow by Stitchtopia. And I'm pretty certain I'm going to go with this one. So you can see the T had to be up higher and the H down lower, but not quite as much as some of the others. So it's a little bit wild, a little bit loopy, but not too much. So I like this one. I like the look of this, and I just bought this one the other day. So Winter Snow by Stitchtopia. And when you buy any of the fonts from Stitchtopia or designs, they have designs too, please use my affiliate link. I'll add it here. All right. That gives you, when you click on that, it's an affiliate link. So it gives a little kickback to me for me to buy my fonts for me to do these tutorials. So that helps out a little bit. So please, if you buy from Stitchtopia, there's lots of companies that make really good fonts, several of them. So whatever works for you, look through what you already have too. So, and I'll show you that. We're going to go through the whole process. All right, so I'm going to go with this one. This is Winter Snow by Stitchtopia with my little mug that I purchased. So I'm going to start from scratch. All right, so here we are. You saw I brought in the mug. Now we want to add in the wording. All right, and so choose whatever font that you want, and we're gonna adjust it and move it around and I'll do all the things. So I'm gonna start by coming up to this letter A, click Create Letters. All right, and it puts that ABC. This ABC is the block style font, and you get it free when you purchase Embellishment Essentials. I think you get like, I don't know, 3 to 6 different fonts that are native to this program that you get automatically. And then I've shown on lots of videos before where you download a font. In fact, I probably have some. Let's see. I've shown this in lots of videos, so hopefully you've already seen it. But if I have one, in fact, one that I've already done before, I can still do it again. So I'm going to open up this lemon ricotta. So when you purchase a design or fonts from wherever, you want to get the BX font. All right, the BX font is what works fantastic with Embellishment Essentials. You don't have to, in other embroidery software and in different formats, you have to bring each letter over and move each letter, whereas with Embellishments you can just bring over all of the BX font, and it just makes it so much easier, and you'll see that in just a moment. All right, so make a purchase, extract it, then find the BX folder, and then click on those BX fonts. So you saw I just grabbed them from the left, drag down so that I've got them all selected, and then just drag it over and watch. That's all you do. See, these have been installed. That's all you do to install your fonts. Super duper easy and quick. All right, so we're all set on that. I'll shrink that down. All right, so we brought in the ABC by clicking on this A, Create Letters. You click on that and it brings in the block style font. And then we're gonna highlight the text. Now I started doing it as you can do multi-line text. I did that here, but then they were too far apart and I couldn't move them all the way that I wanted to. I wanted more options. So I ended up doing them separately, 3 separate words. You can do it however you want, but that's my recommendation. When you do it this way, you're a little bit more confined to, we can do like word spacing and line spacing and all of that, but else you can't move them quite the way that you can if they're separated. So I'm going to do them separate. So that means the single line text. All right, so I'm going to highlight the text here, and I'm going to type hot and hit return. And I'm just going to move that out of the way, and then I'm going to click on Create Letters again, and I'm going to type in cocoa. You could do chocolate, but it's pretty long word for a small amount of space. Keep that in mind. All right, and then Create Letters again, highlight the text, and I'm going to say weather. Hit return. All right, so I've got my 3 words. Now I want to choose my font and size it. All right, so I'm going to start with this first word, hot. So I'm going to click on the word hot, and then I'm going to choose a font. So when you load those fonts, you saw how I did that lemon ricotta, I think it was called. You click over here on this arrow, and it shows you all these fonts that you have purchased and added to your Embellishment Essentials. All right, so I'm going to come down here because I know Stitchtopia ones are always at the bottom, and they always say Stitchtopia and then the name, which makes it heavenly to be able to find them. I love that. So they do that on all of theirs. So Stitchtopia, what did I say? Winter sky, I think, winter snow. I think that's what it was. So I'm just coming down to my Stitchtopia ones. There's winter sky, there's winter snow. So I'm going to do this 1-inch winter snow. And you can see it's a little bit wild, and we have some changes. Whenever you do a script font, you'll want to adjust them and move them around, and you can do some of that in here. I kind of like just doing it each one. It gives you more options. So I'm just going to check and make sure I've got the right one. It was winter snow. Perfect. All right. So the first thing I always start with is I bring it to a line. So I take that word and I find a line in Embellishment Essentials. So you can see the lines here. And that helps me to be able to keep everything the way that I... Sorry, I'm getting messages. All right. So I'm going to click on this middle letter. So I'm going to click on the O. I've shown this in lots of videos. When I click on that O, I'm going to click on that middle green square, and then I'm going to click on this bottom arrow. Click on that bottom arrow, watch, it makes it so that I can move all the letters after that letter instead of doing each one, but you still pretty much have to do each one, but it does help to bring it a little bit closer. And then, like I said, with the script fonts, you just generally want them to connect. I want them to connect. So I'm just moving over that O, and then I'm going to click on that middle square of the T, and I'm going to bring that T over as well. All right, now that you can choose to have it low, high, whatever, this is all personal preference. You can have it all be straight on the line. I wanted it down a little so that it's a little bit more loopy. Sorry for my phone or my computer dinging. It happens all day. All right, so there's the first word. Now, I'm not going to size it just yet. I'm going to leave this as is for now. I'm going to jump down to the cocoa. So you can see hot is all ready. So cocoa, I'm going to again choose that, what was it? Winter by Stitchtopia. And I'm going to click on the 1 inch. So cute. I love this one. And I'm going to bring it to a line. All right. And then I'm going to click on this O. And I'm going to click on this lower arrow so that all of the letters after that will come along with me. And I'm going to just hide that end of that C. All right, and then to the next one, to the C, I'm going to bring them both over. And this one I want kind of on the line. And then down to this O, same thing, bring them both down by using that lower arrow. And then the A, just a little bit closer. All right, great, great, great. All right, so there's my cocoa word. I'm going to start with my cocoa word because the cocoa is in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it to the center. And you can see these black arrows and the center mark of my design. So I'm just going to bring that down and I'm going to size it to make it fit this. And you could have it where your letters are all one specific size. I wanted it a little bit more haphazard than that. So I'm going to have some be a little bit bigger, some be a little bit smaller, like weather will have to be smaller because it's a much bigger word. But I'm going to have it fit this way. All right, so I've got the cocoa. I want it down in the center, making sure to get those black squares on that center line, just so that that one word is centered, and then all the other ones I can work around. So like, see, and now I can make my hot a little bit bigger and centered with the word cocoa. Okay, and this is all personal preference, whatever, it doesn't have to be exact. All right, now I'm going to work on the weather word. So I'm going to click on weather. I'm going to choose that font again. I'm going to come down. I clicked on that arrow to see all my fonts, and then I'm coming down to Stitchtopia and looking for winter snow. 1 inch is what I'm using. All right, so don't worry about it being too big right now because we have to do some resizing. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it down on a line. It doesn't matter what line. I just want it on a line so I can work on it a little bit. All right, so now keep in mind, so see how the W and on several of them, the A too, there's part of it and then there's a lower part. So I'm just choosing in total personal preference, I'm choosing to have the first part of the W and the first part of the A on the line and the rest to dip down. And we'll have to do some dipping around anyway because of this T and the A, H, T and H. All right, so I'm going to click on this E and then down on that lower, the bottom arrow so that all of them come with me. And I'm just moving my E over a little bit closer. And then same thing with the A, clicking on that lower arrow, moving them over. And then the T. Now my T I want higher, but I'll deal with that in a minute. I should have brought both of them. I forgot. That's okay. All right, so I'm probably going to have my TV up here, but we'll see when I find out more. All right, I'm going to click on that middle green square for the H and then the lower one. I think actually I'm going to bring this. I'm going to have it be kind of regular, maybe a little lower. I'll have the H be a little bit lower, and then keep in mind that lowers all of these. So you want to move them around to whatever works for you. This T I want higher. I don't want my letters to overlap, but I do want that line. So see this line here? I don't want that to show. So I'm going to bring my H over a little bit more. I'm just going to bring the H, not the rest of them just yet. Okay, and then my A, I'm going to bring a little bit higher. It does connect and it looks good that way, but I'm going to bring it I want it a little bit higher just so that it's not that they're all straight and then except the A. I want some of them up, some of them down, and want them a little bit more haphazard. That's the look I'm going for. All right, so I brought my A up. My H is good. Could even bring it up a little bit or bring my T down a little bit, it looks like. Let's see. Okay, not too much. I don't want overlap, so that personal preference. All right, then my E, I want back toward that line, so I'm going to bring my E back up, and I just want to cover that, the bottom line of the H, and then my R. Now notice the R needs to be connected. See how it doesn't have a bottom line here? So make sure to grab your R and bring that over. Great. All right, that looks really good. That's so fun. I like that. I'm like such a rule follower, clean cut, do all the right things type of thing. And so when I see something a little bit haphazard, I'm like, ooh, that's kind of cool. Like being a little rebellious, right? All right, so I'm going to click on the word weather and I'm going to put it in place so that I know how much I need to resize it. You can see that it is too big. It goes over the line. So I'm going to go ahead and when you resize it, make sure that you're doing it from a corner. Don't do it from here. It will not make it proportion. It will mess up the I don't know, the wording. You want to have it, you want it still to be the right dimensions, if that makes sense. So I'm going to click on any of the corners and then bring it in from there. All right. Okay, let's see. Now the thing is deciding how much space between your words. And like I said, if you had done where it's all one thing, that's where you can make some spacing changes, especially on this 3-line multi-line text, but to me it's a little bit easier this way where you're choosing what's going to be changed and so on and so forth. All right, so I'm just looking at how much space between the H and the C and then the H or the C and the T. And I think this looks really good. I might bring this weather down just a tiny bit and maybe over just a tad. I don't want it in my seam allowance. How fun is that? I think that looks really good. Now keep in mind it's going to be on that plaid fabric and we're going to have the quilting design. So it will be a little bit busy and this is totally up to you what you want to do. I think that looks really fun. I really love this. So that's pretty cool. All right, so now I need to bring in that quilting design. Let's see, we've got... So if you wanted different colors on here, I don't. So mine will automatically just keep stitching. There won't be a stop. I believe it will. I believe it'll keep going. But if you wanted a stop, like if you wanted hot to be one word, cocoa a different word, and weather to be a different color, not word, then you would create those stops by changing the colors on here. I want them to be the same, so I'm going to keep it as is. Now I'm going to go to that tab that I had told you about so that I can bring in that quilting design back. So I'm going to click on just the quilting design. So that's 1-5, Control C, and go back to that tab, and I'm going to say Control V. All right, and now we need to reorder it though, because now we've got it out of place. All right, so I'm just going to right click on it. Actually, I'm going to drag it because we've got like 4 places to bring it up. So I'm going to click on the picture of it and I'm going to bring it up and see if we get it. No, it's close, but not quite. So I'm going to right click on it now, click on the design, then right click on the quilting design and say move earlier. All right, so I'm going to open this up and just see how we've got it. So we've got our placement and tack down of our batting, our placement and tack down of the main fabric, and then the quilting design is a separate item, and that's okay. Just make sure that you've got them ordered in the right order. All right, where you've got all the quilting and then the mug and then all of the wording. All right, so we've got all of this. It's great. Just make sure that your quilting does not stay at the bottom because then it will go over your wording, over your mug, all of that. You wouldn't want that, of course. So just reorder, make sure that it comes after the rest of your quilting. And that's great. That's really fun. So I'm going to save this. I've already saved it before from when I did all the pre-work, but I'm going to save it anyway. So I'm going to do a Remember that I mentioned, if you use fonts, it's a good idea to save as stitch and working. And that makes it so that if you need to remember what font you used, or you decide, oh, I think I want to make some changes to it, then you can do it easily when it's a working file. When you have a file that's already in your format, like a PEZ file, you can't make changes to the font. So you want a working file. So I'm going to do a file save as stitch and working. And I'm going to save it in my Enchanted Winter document. So I'm going to go to, where is it? Dropbox. All right, computer files, Enchanted Winter. Nope, not the quilting. That's not what I meant. Sorry. Come back to this one, final folder. Embroidery files, PEZ, and I'm on EXP. I want to be on PEZ. That's what my machine uses. All right, and I'm going to say, you can see, look at, I saved all of these so that I could tell you all about them, but I'm going to name this 5x7. There we go. Hot cocoa. And what did we use? Winter snow. All right. Okay, so that one is done. Now I know which one I want, so I'm going to go ahead and close all these other ones so they're out of our way. And just keep in mind, you can use any font that you like. I decided on Winter Snow, but that's me. All right, so there's the one that we have that I'm going to use. Now we want to bring in the other two quilting designs and see what we can fit in one hooping. So I'm going to do a file new page. And let's see. I think I'll start with the 9x9 hoop. I don't have any idea what will fit at this point. We have a 4x6, 2x4, and 2x6. We might be able to do it in, let's try an 8x12. Let's try 8x12. I'm going to say 8x12 hoop. Might even be able to do smaller. I don't know. Possibly. All right, so I went to preferences, clicked on 8x12 hoop, come up to this compass button, click on H for hoop. I think we can go smaller. I bet you we can. All right, let's just see. So I'm going to bring in the first quilting design. So that is the 2x6 Winter 7. So I'm going to open up a folder and go to my files here. That's not it. Quilting bundle, Winter 7, embroidery files, block by block. We want 2x6. 2x6 Winter 7. Grab that, drag it over. All right, I think I'm going to rotate it. So I'm going to click on the design and I'm going to rotate it. Doesn't matter which way. Click outside so nothing's selected, then click on that again, and I'm just going to drag it up out of the way. And right now I'm just checking to see sizing what will work, but also trying to keep them in order. We do want to do that, the changes of the default blues and oranges as always though. All right, that's the first one. The next one is Geometric 13. I'm going to go back to my folder. All right, Geometric 13, embroidery files, PEZ, and we want a 2x4 horizontal. 2x4 Geometric 13 horizontal. That's a little one. All right, I'm going to click on that. I'm going to rotate it and bring it up. Notice I clicked outside and then clicked back to come back to it, because when you rotate it, you can't automatically start moving it. At least you can't with your keyboard, with your arrow keys. I'm sure you could with the mouse, but anyway. All right, so those two are done, and then we need to bring in that one that we just made. So I'm going to click down. I clicked on that tab, and then I'm going to click down from the bottom, select up. To select them all, I'm going to say Control C, or you could also bring it in. That's the other way. That would be super easy to do too. Same thing. You would take your folder where you saved it and just drag it over. Either way, whatever works. All right, I'm going to say Control V, and then I'm going to bring this down to the bottom. Yeah, 8x12 worked out well, and 7x12 would work fine too. I think I might change to that. A little less stabilizer. Yeah, because keep in mind that we've got a 1/2 inch extra fabric on each side, so you don't need a lot of rim, and this is plenty of rim. So actually I'm going to go to preferences, and I'm going to choose 7 by 12. If all you have is your 8 by 12, that will work perfectly, no problem at all. All right, and then I should have grouped all of that so I can move it around. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to click on, let's see, close these so I can see them all. I'm going to click down from the bottom and get 3 through 5 all highlighted, and I'm going to click on edit group so that I can move them around if I need to and not have to worry about it. All right, so that is good. This one up at the top, I'm going to click this compass button, make sure I've got it all. Yep, good. Okay, so I can just bring this one down a little bit. I'm just making some room. There's plenty of room in a 7 by 12 hoop. This is exciting for our last 3 blocks. Like, woo, this is great. All right, so these are ready. We want to make sure to change these colors so that we can not be pulling our hoop on and off the machine. We can get those all joined together. So I'm gonna open up this first one. I'm on 1-1. And I'm going to click on 1-1 and then click down here in the properties window, click on the color, and I'm going to choose the first color that comes up for me. That's Oriental Blue. And then 1-2, click on the color. I'm going to choose Pumpkin. 1-3, click on the color. I'm going to choose the second color down. Since I already used Oriental Blue, I'm going to choose Bluebird. And then 1-4, click on the color, and I'm going to choose, I already used Pumpkin, so I want Jubilee. And then the quilting designs, the color of the quilting designs, I'm going to choose when I get there. So I know on this, that's another thing I want to mention is on the quilting design for this one that has the hot cocoa, my recommendation would be something that's not going to stand out. Like you wouldn't want a dark blue quilting design and then words on top of that because the words will get lost. So you want a quilting color that will be subdued and stay in the background on this. I know sometimes we like our quilting design to stand out, but if you're adding words in, then you don't want it to. My recommendation. All right, 1-5, I'm going to click on the color and I'm going to choose Sprout. All right, and then I'm going to open up number 2 and I'm going to just use these same colors except for that Sprout. I'm going to change that so that those don't join. So I'm going to click on 2-1, click on the color, choosing Oriental Blue. If you don't remember what you used, you can always see it right up here. 2-2, click on the color and I want Pumpkin. 2-3, click on the color, I want Bluebird. 2-4, click on the color and I want Jubilee. And then 2-5, click on the color and I don't want Sprout, I'm going to use Sea Mist. All right, I'm going to close up this first one so I can see. And then I'm opening up number 3. So 3-1, click on the color and I want Oriental Blue. 3-2, click on the color and I want Pumpkin. 3-3, click on the color and I want Bluebird. 3-4, click on the color and I want Jubilee. And then this one, click on the color. This is that one that we took out separately. So it's normally part of the quilting design, but we had it be a little bit separated, which is fine. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to choose the third color down for me. That's Mermaid. Fun. All right, and then let's see. So we do have some that would join in here. The what do you call it? The placement and tack down of the applique pieces. So I am going to quickly change those. There's only 2. Prussian, yeah, 2. So I'm going to choose the second 2. So 5-3. I'm clicking on 5-3. Click on the color, and I want blue metallic because we already have Prussian blue there. So we have, yep, that's good. And then 5-4. See, there's already an electric blue, so I'm going to choose a different one. I'm going to click on the color and I'm going to choose Pewter. All right, and it doesn't matter the colors, like I've always said, it's just so that parts will join that you want them to and parts that you don't want to will not. These will join and that's fine. I want them to, that's totally fine. So this should be all good. I think that says 24 color steps down here. I'm not sure, my software's over it. But I think we're ready to do a color sort. Check very carefully before you do a color sort. Make sure that the blocks are where you want them to be beforehand, because once it does a color sort, then it brings everything together in one design and you can't move them. So make sure to check it now. All right, and we're going to go ahead and do a utility color sort. Oops, utility color sort. And have these same settings that I have. It's reduced it by 8 color changes. Click new view. It opens a new tab, and I'm just going to check on, make sure it did what I want it to do. There's the placement for the batting. All 3 of them are together. That's perfect. And the tack down for the batting, the placement for the main fabric, the tack down for the main fabric, and the first quilting design, second quilting design, third quilting design, and then we start in on the applique for the mug and the tack down, and the placement for the whipped cream and the tack down. And we will iron. I'll point that out when we get there. We will iron that vinyl down if you're using vinyl. And then we have this is the hot cocoa right there, I think. And then the mug and the whipped cream and that snowflake, so cute. And then our wording. Perfect. That's great. That worked out perfectly. So I don't have any changes. If you have any changes you need to make, just come back to that other one that you had, this one, before it all changed to, right now it's like 8 different steps. And so you can always come back and make any changes there. This one worked out great. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. File, save stitch file as, and again, you could do a working file if you need to, but I don't need to. So I'm going to keep on going. So I'm going to say 7 by 12 and section 3 fillers. See, that's what I'm naming mine. And then I want to send it to my machine, utility Wi-Fi to brother, and I'm going to name it section 3 fillers. Should put in 7 by 12, but that's okay. And say okay. Hopefully it sends. Nope. Sent but machine. So when I get this error message, it's actually there. I'm not sure why it didn't want it. It actually didn't change the name too. So I'm going to do it another way just in case. I'm going to do the save stitch file as. I think I have to do the working file. I'm going to do that. Save as stitch and working, and I'm going to say 7 by 12 section 3 fillers. Now it's asking if I want to replace it. I'll say yeah, it's fine. All right, and then let's see if I send it. I think it'll still say it's a problem because I haven't made any changes to it. If I made changes, there's my wording, 7 by 12 section 3 fillers. So it did keep the name, so it should be okay. Yeah, file sent to machine. So that's just my machine being wonky. It ever since I reloaded Embellishment Essentials, it likes to have a name. And usually, like I said, when I do get that error message, it is on my machine, even though it says it's not. It is. So that's just something that works for me. And I talked to someone else that had the same issue, and she was really thankful that I gave these workarounds. So like I said, just change the name or add a name to it. Anyway, so last 3 blocks. Are you so excited? Oh my gosh. And something fun to try out. Now keep in mind that anyone that has made a donation during the time of this project, I'm going to send you just the wording. I can't send you the hot cocoa. You need to purchase that on your own, but I will send you the hot cocoa and a line outside so that you can line it up. But just the wording is that I've made. That's all I'm going to send to you. And I'm only going to send you the one that I chose. I'm not going to do this on all of them. So I chose the winter snow. I will send that one to you. If you don't want that one and you want a different one, absolutely. I just walked you through how to do it. So you're on your own and you'll do great for sure. But I will send that to you. And so just check your email because it's going to come out to you right before the video is posted. You'll get it a little bit ahead of everybody else. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. for my shirt today. I've had this one for years, but I actually love it. It's one of my favorites. So, and you might see why I'm wearing this today. So this one says hot chocolate and sweater. What is it? Hot chocolate and sweater weather. Isn't that fun with some whipped cream? Pretty cute design, right? I think it's from Hoop Mama, if I recall. Like I said, I've had this for years. The sweater I got at Fred Meyer a ton of years ago. If you're ever looking for a sweater with different colors on it, if you go on Amazon and search by color block, that's how you find a sweater like this. This one, it was not from Amazon, but that's how you can find one. And I probably have some in my Amazon storefront as well. But anyway, cute shirt. I will add information underneath this video with where I got the design and a link to my Amazon storefront. I'll add this here as well so that you can find various sweaters and shirts that I have embroidered on that I highly recommend. All the details will be in the video notes. And how are you doing with your goal? Hopefully you're doing better than me, because I've just worked all day, all night. I did not get a workout today. In fact, if I looked at my step counter, I probably have less than 2,000 steps today. I've just been sitting way too much, but you know, we need rest days every now and then, so that's good. And when I'm done filming, because then I don't have to have my hair just right and all the things, I'm going to go for a walk. Even though it's pitch dark outside, I am going to go for a walk with my husband and my dog, so I'll get a little bit of a workout, at least something, at least a little movement, I should say. Not really a workout, but movement. So it's better than nothing. And the other goal of the people are fantastic. I'm having a wonderful day as far as people. I've been seeing everybody answering stuff for me, and I'm just so thankful because I've literally been working all day and all night. So I pop in every now and then when someone tags me, but for the most part, everybody's taking care of each other, and it's just wonderful. So how are you doing with your goals? Inspire me. Tell me about your workouts that you did, or how you're doing with other projects, or keeping up on this project. Oh my gosh, people are keeping up on it too much. It's a little overwhelming, but it's very exciting. I'm absolutely loving seeing you guys working so hard on this project and also on your goals.